Alright, it's barely past noon. It's like a quarter after noon. I ran an errand real quick. I'm back though. Combat gameplay though? Hopefully this sells people more? Or what they show is good.
For now though, enjoy the combat of Sonic Frontiers.
So they keep re-cementing that, like, yeah, there's gonna be more coming. I want to see more of the world. Because between this and yesterday's gameplay video, like, there's a couple things I could probably add to the discussion later after this, even with yesterday's. But like, everything we're seeing thus far, especially with the world, okay. I know quick stepping came back. But like you could also like use it to sidestep, just to dodge enemy attacks too, probably. But like the whole world we're seeing thus far, right? Like it's all very, very, very likely to be just like a tiny fraction of the actual overall worlds we're gonna be exploring. Is that the wait, is that the XP? It's more collectibles though. I am curious to see. Ooh! Ooh! I like. Okay, no, that looks fun. That move looks kind of cool. Shit's like Cloud's Blade Beam and Smash, but like tossing out so many. Yeah, dude. Okay, that's cool. No, that's kind of snasty. That's cool. Okay. You don't always mindlessly homing attack too, you gotta like use the trail thing too. Okay. Like a little bit of variation at least with how you're supposed to take out specific enemies. I also want to see what any of these collectibles do, like the hearts. If there are hearts around, like, is that like a collectible of some kind, or is that like for health? Because then that makes me wonder what rings are gonna do, too. And then there are these like diamond things that you pick up defeating enemies, which is okay, which is also pretty similar to the diamonds in Unleashed. Excuse me. I really like that move. That move looks kind of cool. Oh, I am curious about that red tower, though. Wait, what the heck was that? Oh, is that like a... not the same reticle, but like... a reticle to go from one enemy to the other, I guess? That little squiggle. Oh, okay. Ah. I think Breath of the Wild has like something similar, that sidestep thing. To where Sonic can barely dodge an attack just in time. I'm almost 100% positive Breath of the Wild has the same thing. Like this dodge system. I wonder if this like soothing piano music's gonna be placeholder music. If there's gonna be like other types of songs and music playing during these encounters, especially with these big kaiju looking robot enemies. Oh, what the heck are those? Dude, they keep showing us these collectibles. They keep showing us drops you just pick up, and we don't know what any of them do or contribute towards. These look like they could be, like, relatively fun and creative if these bosses get any more elaborate than this guy. I can definitely picture, like, the combat being very button mashy, though. The thinking and strategy probably comes with, like, the enemy variety and how you're supposed to go about reaching their weak spots, and then you probably just mash, like, X or something. But, like, there are several different moves Sonic can do against enemies, so that is something. And that, like, kick projectile. That's it? Okay, so 30 seconds less than yesterday's video. Okay, I definitely have a couple things to say about it. I highly doubt the discussion's gonna be nearly as long as yesterday's. But, that was combat gameplay for sure. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was the combat for Sonic Frontiers. That was my general reaction to it. And now my thoughts on the whole thing and individual bits of it. The combat, thus far, looks solid. It looks pretty solid and fun. I can definitely envision some roadblocks and issues it may have. But between the moves Sonic does and the enemies you fight, what kinds of attacks you have to do to beat them, I think this might sell people more towards the game. And it's definitely an area of Frontiers that looks more promising and refined, I feel, than others. And so far, after like 15 to 30 minutes after the presentation dropped, I think I'm seeing more people warming up to it. Before I dive into the actual gameplay itself, two things about this whole thing and Frontiers' marketing thus far. One, not gonna lie, a part of me was a little let down watching this gameplay. It was indeed combat. They did not stretch or lie about any of that. I was also expecting a look at HUDs and maybe the skill tree too. The leaks and rumors surrounding Frontiers mentioned something about a skill tree, these collectibles Sonic gets that contribute towards him getting more moves, upgrades, access to these abilities and whatnot. I was under the impression we were also going to get a glimpse at that and how Sonic might get even just one of the moves we see, because we've seen like 5 or 6 different collectibles in this game beyond rings, the hearts, the red spiky orb slash fruit, the melon looking thing, now these enemies dropping diamond pickups kind of looking like Unleashes Yellow Diamond XP, these bluish stone rings, the kaiju enemies' feet drops when attacked, and we don't know what any of them do or why we're collecting them. And with all these different moves Sonic does, I have to imagine there's some kind of upgrade system like Sonic Unleashed. And the second thing is just the marketing surrounding this game. I didn't think too much of it until seeing more people talk about it, and then it was racking around my mind watching this, and it clicked with me that, yeah, what is Sega's angle with this marketing strategy? By that I mean the way they're releasing this gameplay for Sonic's biggest new upcoming game. Them dropping more gameplay at all is one thing, Summer Games Fest in June being the usual month for all this gaming news, that's normal, that's understandable, logical, that's not what I'm referring to, but not doing it themselves, not uploading any of the gameplay thus far onto their own official channels and accounts, not the Sonic YouTube channel, like, why is it this exclusive IGN deal showcase thing? Between the movement slash exploration gameplay we got Wednesday and today's combat gameplay, especially when they didn't release any standard, normal gaming trailer of any kind prior to them since last May, it's this weird strategy of us finding more about the game. There's like no commentary, no specific details on specific elements anywhere. It's just this one-off IGN employee or whatever playing the game, getting hit, moving slowly here and there, not really fleshing out Sonic's abilities to a higher skill ceiling or whatever. Kind of fumbling about in both gameplay videos. And for the first major reveal of your mascot brand's first open world game that millions are watching right now, for better or worse, yeah, that's probably not the way you should be revealing your game and gameplay for the first time. Wrapping that in my mind, it's easier to see why people are more anxious with how we're getting Frontiers information thus far this month. There's that, my own curiosity nipping harder at the gameplay and specific details, but harder this time. I was a tiny bit bummed we didn't get a look at HUDs and whatnot. It was a more standard showing than what I wanted, but all of this should not fool you or make you think otherwise. I think the combat does look fun and cool. The area itself seemed to be an extension of more of the same biome slash section of the world we've seen all throughout the marketing of the game so far. We see several different types of enemies you fight with these different designs and mechanics, how you're supposed to go about fighting them. I'm glad you're not just mindlessly homing attacking everything. The enemies themselves, there's this one where it has this shield and you have to use that trail ability Sonic has to send the shield up and then attack it underneath, and another where Sonic faces this similar protected enemy with similar defense but uses this projectile flurry kick attack to attack it from a distance. Like, not only does Sonic have multiple different moves he can use, not only do you have access to more moves, but the game needs you to do more moves and analyze and think around how you're going to go about fighting some of these baddies. There's a little strategy and depth in there, and that enemy variety does help too. And Sonic has a lot of different moves he can do too for the combat itself. Homing attack, follow up with a flurry of punches and kicks. He can sidestep to dodge attacks, kind of like the quick step. There's this dodge mechanic similar to Breath of the Wild that gives Sonic a little window to dodge and counterattack an enemy just in the nick of time. He does this janky looking aerial backflip kick move, the zigzag homing attack we've seen before, the tornado move we saw before, this multi-kick blade projectile attack that looks very cool, plus the trail ability we keep seeing Sonic use, not just be specific to puzzles, but also enemies in order to access weak spots, send them up and disorient them, etc. There are several different attacks Sonic can do, and I'm hoping there are more moves we've yet to see. Again, I have to imagine there's some upgrade system like Unleashed, because just like Unleashed in the Werehog, there are all these different moves Sonic can do, and maybe different combos too, which could make combat fun and having some depth to explore there. The one potential flaw I can imagine the combat having is beyond finding out how to take out enemies. I can imagine it becomes a mindless button mash if Sonic's other moves don't pack a bigger punch in some notable way. Unleashed has all those combos and different moves Werehog Sonic can do, but most people got by with using the same one or two combo variation than the massive combo list and options Sonic had. So if any of these moves and any others we don't know of deal more damage or provide some extra benefit more than just spamming homing attack in the barrage of punches and kicks, that might avert that potential obstacle the combat could face. The kaiju robot looked cool, climbing up its body to kill it, gave me a little flashback to Perfect Chaos in Sonic Adventure Generations, but yeah, there's move variety, enemy variety, some strategy in both of those. The combat showcase definitely showed off the combat solidly and well enough in my opinion. The only bad thing about the combat to me, really, probably the animations. The janky looking aerial somersault attack, the tornado move again. Like, if they just brush up the animations for this and there is that skill tree, upgrades, other moves we don't know of, more enemy variety and strategy and such, the combat I think is going to work for a lot of people. Personally, I'm sold on the combat thus far. It looks fun, it looks flashy and cool, while also bearing some depth to it, and variety and freedom in how you battle enemies too. I just hope there's more to it generally speaking. Moves, combos, enemy types, etc, etc. Maybe see and make sure if there's a solid sense of fluidity to it. I'm unsure how fluid it'll ultimately finally be, going from enemy to enemy, or even killing just one super strong enemy. But outside the animations needing polish, everything else about the combat seems solid. I do hope for the bigger bosses and kaiju enemies there's different, more intense music than that calm piano music. That kind of sucked me out a little bit. I don't know if anyone else felt the same. Hoping that was a placeholder music, especially since we're talking a Sonic game. There's gotta be that soundtrack variety and quality too. You can't just skimp with the piano music if you're fighting these giant robots. You gotta have something more dramatic or epic. And I do wish we get a better look at the HUDs, what the collectibles will do, upgrades, abilities, and whatnot. Until we get a look at the story too, I think what I'm curious about the most is I just want to see more of the world. More platforming sections, more biomes, other sections of the world than just this one plains, ruins-filled valley section we've only seen thus far. Still hoping for the polish and attention paid towards the physics, movement, and core gameplay. Same for animations, graphical issues, and such too. I don't know if it's just me, or am I crazy? The beginning portion of this gameplay, and the previous one actually, where Sonic has an idle animation. Is that model for Sonic different? I feel like the quills are longer, and of course, he has the idle animation being noteworthy, but I don't know if it is or not, because that would support the notion of a lot of the gameplay we've been seeing so far ultimately being split between two different builds, between those beginning segments and the actual gameplay we see itself. And I know for a fact I'm either going to be looking out for this game on either Steam, PS4, or PS5. Everyone's mentioned this and said this plenty before. I never did up until now, but I agree and want to join in on the discussion. Can't wait to see Switches explode playing this game. The Switch can kinda handle Breath of the Wild, but Skyrim and other open world games, especially third-party ones, they are not optimized for the thing. And Sonic Forces was the least optimized on the Switch, so I pray for anyone who's gonna be stuck with the Switch version of this game, because yes, this does not look like a game that'll run smooth on Switch. Switches are about to heat up and burn like a microwave and explode when they play this game. I think that's all I could say for now on Frontiers, at least the combat itself. It looks cool, it looks fun. I like all the moves they showed off. I also like the enemy variation. The combat looks to be solid and holding the most potential and polish thus far. Just needs to touch up the animations is all really. Still cautiously optimistic for the game overall. Still hoping it's great. I do still want to play it, and I'm very much eager to find out more on this game. We'll probably get another big blowout next Thursday when Summer Games Fest actually happens, unless they got another showcase before that. Either way, you'll see me back here with more thoughts and coverage on Sonic Frontiers and Sonic himself. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, how the combat makes you feel. Thank you for watching and listening, and I wish you all a great Friday and an even more super weekend. Stay super.